Hey guys, this is NileHammers of Invoked 101. Welcome back, and today we have the brand new Unchained deck. So, as you know, we got a new Unchained Soul coming out of Ignition Assault, and as we know, this is the last one that we are getting, aside from the new Unchained Twin. So that's kind of cool. Super excited to have this. Like Unchained is one of those decks that like it came out and I was like, I'm super into that. Like I just really liked it, and like I paid way too much money for these when they came out, but that's fine. And yeah, so I just wish it could be played pure a little bit. So this is a pure Unchained deck profile, at least as close to pure as I feel you could get. Alongside the Unchained monster at the sneak peek, we also were able to get 3 Witchcrafter Genies. As you know, Mio plays Witchcrafter, so be looking forward to a new Witchcrafter deck as well. There will be a version with and without Magician's Soul, so you know, for people who are more on the budget than others, we will have both of those. But with that said, down in the description, if you feel like supporting the channel, there is a link to our Patreon, our Teespring, our Ko-fi, and our Cash App. So if you feel like supporting the channel directly, though, that's the main way to do it. We also have our Discord link down there, so if you feel like chatting with us, that's how to do it. With that said, we're gonna get right into the deck. I'm gonna set the extra deck and the spells and traps off to the side, and we'll get right into the main deck monsters. So starting off, we have 3 Abominable Unchained Soul. This is the brand new one coming out of Ignition Assault. Level 8 Dark Fiend with 3,1500 attack. Pretty dope card, honestly. So the main effect is that you can only special summon him once per turn, but then if a card you control is destroyed, you can special summon him from your hand. And then if he's in the graveyard, and then if he's special summoned, you can discard a card and destroy 1 card on the field. Then his effect, he has another effect where if he's in the graveyard, what is it? Let me read. Once per turn during the end phase, if this card is in the graveyard because it was destroyed on the field and sent there this turn, you can special summon this card, but put it on the bottom of the deck when it leaves the field. So there we go. That's what it is. Just like clunky wording. But yeah, so really cool. I like the fact that it goes back to the bottom of the deck simply because that means you can recycle your Unchained Souls, which is was a bit of a problem with Unchained when it first came out. So this guy kind of remedies that by being a better Unchained Soul card in just like attack value and effect. But nothing can forget the kind of snatch steely Unchained Soul of Disaster, the card that lets you link with your opponent's monsters. This is honestly one of the coolest monsters to come out of this deck. It's another level 8 Dark Fiend with 0/3000, and you know how it does. It lets you target a card your opponent, target a face-up monster your opponent controls, and link with it. And then it also has the effect of if it's destroyed, you can special summon a Unchained monster from your deck or graveyard, I believe. Summon 1 Unchained monster from your graveyard except Unchained Disaster. So this one summons from graveyard, not deck. But yeah, very cool card, level 8 Dark Fiend, and you may be wondering why I'm playing 3, and I'll get to that when I get to it. After that, we have 3 Unchained Twin Arua, which this is the one that pops a card and then special summons itself from the hand. And of course it locks you into Fiends. Both twins, when they pop a card, lock you into Fiends. And then if this card is destroyed, you can special summon 1 Unchained monster from the deck. Alongside him, we have his twin, which is Rakia. And Rakia is the one that, while as a monster effect, like on the field, it lets you destroy 1 card you control, and then locks you into Fiends. And then its effect is if it's destroyed on the field, you can, or if it's just destroyed, actually, I think, you can special summon 1 Unchained monster from the deck. And one thing to note, you can't summon Arua off Arua, and you can't summon Rakia off Rakia. That is kind of the thing between them. You can't summon their own names. But yeah. That's it for the Unchained stuff. I play like 3 of all of them, so just because like I like them, and I think that 3 in this version that I'm playing is the proper amount. After that, we're playing some Dark Fiend support in the form of Malice and Banishment. These guys are kind of interesting, and they're like really different. They came out of the Evil Legendary Duelist pack, and they're both level 3 Dark Fiends with 16/0. So starting with Banishment, his effect is if your opponent's monster attacks at the start of the damage step, you can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard, then target 1 level 8 Fiend monster in your graveyard, special summon it, but its effects are negated, and if you do, change the attack target to it and perform damage calc. So that's really cool. This is at the start of the damage step, which I believe means like stuff can't be chained to it. Like you can't Called by the Grave this when you activate it from the hand, which is pretty cool. It has another effect, which is while this card is in the graveyard, except during damage step, if a level 8 fiend is sent to your graveyard and this card's in your graveyard, except during damage step, you can add this card from your to your hand. And both of them do that. If they're in your graveyard and a level 8 fiend goes to your graveyard, you can pick them back up and add them to your hand. Malice's effect is when your opponent activates a card or effect, quick effect, you can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard, target a level 8 fiend monster in your graveyard, special summon it, but its effects are negated. So both of them are kind of Monster Reborns for stuff. This one's especially nice because you can discard it and then summon back, Disaster in defense mode, and then they have to swing in Disaster's 3000 defense. And the same logic will apply for Abominable because he has 3000 attack. So that's really nice. So we play one each of those guys because they recycle themselves. We also play 2 Tour Guides because Tour Guide went to 2, and this is a level 3 Fiend deck, so Tour Guide's really nice. Then, as well, we also play 1 Armageddon Knight and 1 Dark Grepher. Like I said, we do play high-level dark monsters, so this is really cool. You can just special summon this and get a free link material. And this, if you open this and one of these guys, then you can like do combos with these guys. But yeah, I just felt that both of these were kind of nice add-ins. I think Grepher is a little bit better than Armageddon Knight, but these are some of the main reasons that we're playing 3 Disaster. But I have thought about cutting Armageddon Knight and Grepher for mind controls. I think that might be the way to go. With that said, that is it for the monster lineup. I don't exactly know how many monsters it is, but it is a fairly okay amount. I think it's actually close to 20 or 15. So with that, moving into these spells, of course, you cannot play Unchained without 3 other Rhoda. This deck is pretty inconsistent, but this does help way a lot. This helps a lot because not only it shares the same effect as it has a shared effect with all the other Unchained support, which is if this card is destroyed on the field, you get a special summon 1 Unchained monster from your deck. All the Unchained support cards have that same effect, but this one's main effect is that you add 1 Unchained monster from your 1 Unchained card, from your deck to your hand. And you can only activate 1 Abomination's Prism per turn. So, you can only use each effect of Abomination's Prism per turn. So, yeah, very cool card. After that, we have Wailing of the Unchained Soul. Again, another card that says you can only use each effect once per turn. If it's destroyed, you get to summon a Unchained from the deck. And then it says, if you link summon an Unchained a link monster, you can target 1 card on the field, destroy it. Very cool. Simple. Oh, they have to be set. Let me fix myself real quick because before I get a comment about it. The Unchained cards must be set and destroyed to get their effects. They can't just be destroyed like while they're face up. That's it for the Unchained spells. They only do have 2. Next up is Called by the Grave because this deck is kind of a glass cannon type deal. So Called by the Grave is really important. And here's where the level 8 stuff comes into play. 2 trade-in. I think trade-in could be really cool, especially with Spirit and Malice. Dark Spirit of Malice and Banishment. Trade-in, it also lets you dig through your deck to add more consistency. This wasn't originally like super good to play in the deck because there was only 1 level 8, but now with Abominable, this is really good. I think this is a bit better to play. I'm still playing 2 Super Poly in the deck. I believe this was in my last version of Unchained, and I still think it's correct. I like the 2 Super Polys because it does give you a bit of interruption on your opponent's turn. You can summon Starving Venom. You can summon, and because Arua is fire, you can actually use this against Salamangreat. You can also use Rakia to fuse with Multi-Faker, and not Multi-Faker, Meluseek, that's what it was, and make Swamp, the Mud Dragon of the Swamp. There we go. After that, we have 1 World Legacy Succession because this is a link deck, and hard drawing this isn't bad. We actually do want to see it because summoning stuff to our zone link monsters point to doesn't matter. We're not really making anything under those links, so that's fine. Alongside that, 1 Monster Reborn because it's a fine card, and 1 Reinforcement of the Army. When I talked about cutting the 2 guys for mind control, I don't know what this card would be. Potentially either a negate or something like that. But honestly, like, you could cut this and the other 2 guys and play like Crow or Skullmeister or Ash and be fine. That's it for the spells. And for once, like a deck, when I say traps, it doesn't mean just like one trap. For like once, it actually means like multiples. So this is Abominable Chamber of the Unchained. This is the special summon one Unchained monster from your hand or graveyard, and then if just set card is destroyed, you can special summon an Unchained from the deck. Yeah, very cool monster. In theme Monster Reborn, or I guess Call the Haunted for the deck, because it does special summon. But yeah, it's because it's trap. But yeah, it's really nice. It's a good little piece of consistency to help keep going. It doesn't let your like your fuel die, and also this can revive link monsters because it doesn't specify in defense mode. After that, we have Escape of the Unchained. This is a really cool card for this deck and actually led to some certain artifact builds, but the artifact build isn't very good because it locks you into fiends, and those are fairies. So but Escape of the Unchained says target one Unchained monster you control and one card on the field, destroy both. This set card is destroyed by card effects. You can special summon one Unchained monster from your deck, like everything else. So yeah, basically a pop one, pop your opponent's thing, and usually you can actually get some advantage off of it because you will be destroying one of your Unchained monsters, and they do get pluses off that. Then we have one Paleozoic Diomiscus. This out stuff, it just gets rid of things. This was a kind of a carryover from like when I was playing around with Thunder Dragons. And honestly, the Rhoda, like I just thought about it. It could be a second Diomiscus. There we go. Hey, problem solved. So with that said, moving into the extra deck, we finally arrived there. We, of course, are playing one Unchained Abomination, the Link 4, that is actually pretty awesome. It's a good generic Link 4 as well. Its effect is it needs 2+ monsters, including a Link. It says if a card on the field is destroyed by card effect, except by Unchained Abomination, except during damage step, you can target one card on the field, destroy it. When another monster is destroyed by battle, you can target a card on the field, destroy it. During the end phase, you can target a card on the field, destroy it. You can only use each effect of Unchained Abomination per turn. Basically, on a good day, you pop 3. On a bad, you pop 2. Yeah. So pretty good card. Then we have the Link 3 at 2, which is Unchained Soul of Anguish, which I believe this is the quick effect one. No, this isn't. This says target one face-up monster your opponent controls. Immediately after this effect resolves, Link summon one dark Link monster except Unchained Soul of Anguish by using only that opponent's monster and this card you control as material. This card on the field is destroyed by battle or card effect. You can target one fiend monster in your graveyard except Unchained Soul of Anguish, add it to your hand. And I believe the Link 2 has that same if it's destroyed on the field, add a card to your hand. But yeah, this is the one that can use anything, but it is not a quick effect. So which means but yeah, both the Link 2 and the Link 3, which we're playing 3 of because it's the Link 2 and it's the one that you go into first. Both of them require an Unchained Soul monster to go into. So Unchained Soul of Rage, which is the Link 2, needs any 2 monsters, including an Unchained Soul. And it says during your opponent's main phase, quick effect, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls, one face-up special summon monster your opponent controls. Immediately after this effect resolves, Link summon using only this card and that card. Then it also has the effect of when it's destroyed, you can pick a card up and add it to your hand. Much like Anguish does. So that's it for the Unchained links as well. Because we get locked into Fiends, we're playing a Beat Cop. Especially, it's really easy to use 2 darks to get its bonus effects, so that's nice. And then we're also playing a full suite of Nightmares, including Cerberus, Phoenix, Unicorn, and Griffin. So basically all the ones that are still currently playable and legal. And then on top of that, we also have a Boral Sword. Whoa, because Boral Sword is a Dark Link, and even though it's not a Fiend, it's a Dragon, you can still Link summon it during your opponent's turn if they have a Link 2 using this. So very cool, and like going into Boral Sword or even Griffin on your opponent's turn is actually pretty brutal because Griffin does lock them out of using effects. So very nice. Then that's it for the links. For other cards, we have one Humming because it's a level 3 Fiend, a rank 3 Fiend that we can summon pretty easily using stuff like Rakia and Arura and Malice and whatnot. So I just wanted an Xyz monster to go into, and this one had the highest defense, so while still being a Fiend. Then we also have Starving Venom, mostly for a super poly target, and like I mentioned, one Mud Dragon also as a super poly target. So that's it for the deck. That rounds out the extra, and he's in a different sleeve because I couldn't find another hex sleeve. But yeah, that rounds out the rest of the Unchained deck. Like I mentioned earlier, Unchained is one of those decks that I really like and fell kind of in love with when it was revealed. I thought it was really cool, and I really was excited to see where they went with it because it seemed to be another Tenki type deck where it had a little bit of lore spliced into it, and just enjoyable as it does. It's one of the few decks that actually like benefits from destroying its own cards, kind of like Metal Foes. And I really liked Metal Foes back when those first came out. So having this and like being able to play it like as it is pretty fun. And I definitely look forward to the new Unchained Saramaya or Salamaya, I think, or Salami that's coming out, or Salami. So that looks really cool, along with some stuff to make the deck basically function with Yubel, which is going to be pretty awesome. As Terra Incarnate, not Terra Incarnate, Ultimate Nightmare is actually a bit of a formidable boss monster in a deck that can summon it consistently, and this one potentially can, which is going to be super awesome to see and play around with. But with that said, let me know what you thought about this deck in the comments below. I would love to hear your thoughts on how I can improve this. As well, while you're down there, feel free to check out the description. Again, you can support us through our Patreon, our Teespring, our Ko-fi, and our Cash App, as well as just joining the Discord and chatting with us. And with that said, I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.